Welcome back to Adams Automotive. I haven't made a video in a while because I've been feeling kind of sick. My voice has been messed up. But today I'm going to be showing you how to do maintenance on your 7.3 Power Stroke. This should work for OBS or Super Duty Power Strokes. I'll be showing you how to change the oil, which right here is the part number. Then the fuel filter. And I changed out my air filter because I was running this big air filter on there, like most of the 7.3 guys do. But after seeing Casey Turbo's video, they did run their truck on a dyno and stuff with the different air filters. It turns out the stock one, because it has this air duct that pulls it from up here, actually is better for your truck than that big air filter. So we'll jump into it here. We'll start the oil, and then we'll hop over to the fuel filter. So we're under the truck here, and you can see my oil pan. And it has some oil dripping off of it, so I'll probably get a new washer for that drain plug. But I just added this steering stabilizer shock yesterday. I didn't record it because I wasn't feeling the best. But here we go. We got your oil pan and your oil filter. So I have a 13mm wrench here. We're going to just break this loose and then take it out with our hands and then let it drain all the way out, and then we'll take the oil filter out. So this drain plug probably needs a new washer on it, but I couldn't find one. I know we have some somewhere, so I'll try to look for one, but I couldn't find it right now. But you see, it's kind of crushed down, got a lot of marring in it. That's just from being tightened and taken out so many times. Definitely time for a new washer, but it's also a good idea why you got no oil in your truck. If you take your keys and put them, there's some chickens, but if you put them somewhere, like out of your truck, keep them out of your truck so nobody goes in there and tries to start it with no oil in it. These diesel trucks have very large oil filters, so you're gonna need yourself a big oil filter wrench like this. One of the small ones probably won't fit around it. But right here's your oil filter, so you're gonna grab onto it and just loosen it up. And be careful because it's full of oil, and if you drop it on yourself, it's not gonna be a good day. So just try to dump it over and drain it out into your pan while it's sitting right here, and then you can toss it out because it'll be empty. Alright, so you can let it drain out a little bit. There's really no good way to do this. You're going to make a mess no matter what. So make sure you got your sleeves pulled up or you put some gloves on or something. Because the oil can be hot. And if you got nice clothes on, you probably won't be happy. But let it drain out, and it'll drain down a little bit to where like it ain't going to be pouring out while you grab it. But then you just unscrew it and you dump it over and you'll be good to go. So you got your oil filter off. The next thing you're going to want to do is take a rag and clean up around that outer edge. And make sure the seal is on the oil filter and not stuck up here. If it's stuck up here, just pick it off because you don't want two seals, one from the newer filter and one from the old, because that'll cause a leak. And you want to wipe off around where your drain plug goes. Just give it a quick wipe, and it's going to keep dripping a little bit. But when it's dripping like this, very slow drip, you're good to go to put your plug back in. So what you want to do is just get it finger tight. And you see mine has a little hesitation there. It probably got over tightened by somebody previously. So I'm just going to take my wrench. See, it breaks right free again. So a little bit of hesitation there, but what can you do? So right here, as you can see, I can get it tight. Now you're just going to go snug. Don't crank it down, but you don't want it to leak. So let's go a little snug. I want to give it a double check. Yep, she's good. So now we're going to grab our new oil filter. We're going to pre-fill it probably about halfway, and then we'll put it back up here, and I'll show you guys that. On most cars and trucks, you don't have to do this, but since the oil filter is so large, I'm going to go ahead and pre-fill it about halfway. All right, as you guys can see, it's full halfway. We're gonna take some of this oil, put it on your finger, and see the seal here. You're gonna wanna get this seal wet, just so it has a better seal, because you put it in there dry, it has a chance to move or bend or crack, and you want a good seal. So now that we have our seal sealed up and it's halfway full, back underneath the truck, tighten it up, and we're good to go. Putting your oil filter on, you gotta go as tight as you can with only your hands. So like, put both hands on here, twist it as tight as you can. And if you're kind of on the weaker side, it's okay if you grab your wrench a little bit and snug it up. But do not put these on with the wrench as tight as you can, because you'll be struggling to take it back off, and it's just not good. So hand tight is plenty tight. It ain't gonna go nowhere. And if you're nervous about it, you can always double check it every now and then, every other week. But it shouldn't go anywhere if you get it hand tight with both hands. The 7.3 Power Stroke takes 15 quarts of 15 W40. So we got a 2.5 gallon, a 1 gallon, and a 1 quart. And that equals 15 quarts. So if we dump all this in the motor, I would recommend using a funnel. Maybe one not this tall, because you got to put that big, heavy 2.5 gallon thing up here. But just drain it in there slow, because it came back up right here, and then it'll spill everywhere. So just take it nice and easy. I'll fill it back up with oil, and then I'll show you how to change your fuel filter, which is underneath this cap. Make sure you put all, make sure you put all 15 quarts in, and then we're gonna fire it up for a second. I wanna fire it up before we do the fuel filter, because after you do the fuel filter, it struggles to start for a second, just because the air has to work out of the system. So we're gonna start it up after the oil, run it for like a minute, and then check the oil on your dipstick and make sure there's no leaks. So we'll fire it up here. And good news, I finally bought some glow plugs and new harnesses for my valve cover, so I'll show you guys how to do that here. All right, so we're gonna check and make sure there's no leaks. So as you guys can see, there's no leaks, which means my my drain plug and my oil filter are tight enough. All right, so first step for your fuel filter, you're gonna come to the passenger side of the truck. Oops, sorry, I dropped the camera. But you're gonna go to the passenger side of a truck. You're gonna grab a water bottle and a flashlight, and you're gonna look underneath here next to your shock. And you guys see that tube right above the flashlight? Not this one with the fitting on it, but that little tiny one right there. So we're gonna put a water bottle on the end of that. I'll show you guys how to do that here. You're just gonna take your water bottle, kind of fish it in there, drop it down a little bit, come in behind your shock with your hand. This might be easier to do with two hands, but I'm trying to show you guys how. And you're just gonna plop it on there best you can, and you might need somebody to hold it. There you go. So that's the tube I was talking about, this one right here. So now we're on top of the motor. We just put our water bottle down here, and this is our fuel filter housing or water separator, whatever you guys want to call it. If you remember this, we put new seals and a new one of these water separators on there because mine was leaking and it filled the valley with fuel. So if you're having the same problem, go check out that video. But in order to drain that fuel, you're gonna pop this open, and then we're gonna come back down here, because usually there's quite a bit of fuel in there. And as you guys can see, maybe you can't see, but it's draining into our water bottle here. Sometimes that tube can get some dirt up in it and it kind of get clogged up, but it is draining. You just want to make sure it doesn't overfill, because you get diesel over the ground, or if you don't care, you don't care. You don't have to put a water bottle there. I'm just trying to keep it off the concrete. So once this empties out, I'll show you how to get the filter out and then what you do next. There's two styles to these caps, the one that uses a socket like this and the ones that use pliers. Whenever I buy the filters, I usually just get the cap with it because it's easiest, because there's two different style of filters that go with certain caps. But the new cap I'm putting on is the plier style, not the socket style, which I prefer the socket, it's easier. But
I'll show you guys how to use the pliers to put it on. So you take this cap off, set it over here because you're getting rid of that if you bought the whole thing. Here's the seal, which I had a seal break on mine about back here, and it was shooting fuel up on the carpet up here, and everything was covered in diesel. It was bad. But so we're just gonna pretty much grab this filter, take it out. There will be some diesel in it, and then I'll show you how to put a new one in. So this new filter, nice and white. I can't see the old one, but it was black. Definitely time to change it. You're gonna take the side of the hole. Oh, look down in there. Kind of dirty, but that's what it's made for, is to clean your fuel. You gotta make sure it goes in there all the way down. Kind of push on it. Should be pretty flush. Then you're gonna take your cap with your new seal here. Make sure that seal is lubed up. You're gonna want to make sure you hold on to that seal. Make sure it goes in there. See how my seal fell off? So I'm gonna stop recording, use two hands, but you want your seal to stay up here so you don't kink it or nothing to put a hole in. So to tighten these down, same way as your oil filter, you get it nice and hand tight. Clean that off because you don't want it slipping, but then you grab you a pair of pliers. This is a different style lid here. You open your pliers up. There's just channel locks. These ones don't, might be big enough. Hold on, let me set this camera down for a second. All right, so pretty much you're gonna go like this. See how one's on one side, one's on the other. And you're gonna take two hands probably, and you're just gonna tighten it up. Don't get it super tight because you'll hate yourself when you have to change it again. Now before you start it, you're going to have to prime the fuel back up. Make sure you close that yellow valve on your fuel bowl. You're going to put the key in. Don't start the truck, but turn all the power on. You're going to let the pump run until it shuts off. Usually it's like 30 seconds. And then you're going to flip the key back off, flip it back on. You got to do it like 5-6 times to fill that fuel bowl back up. If you have an OBS Ford, pour some diesel into the fuel tank, or not the fuel tank. Pour some diesel into the fuel bowl, and then you can start it right up. Once you cycle your key 4 or 5 times, like I said, go ahead and fire it up. Be very careful, but climb up here like you were. Be very careful not to touch this belt because it could probably pop your finger off. But you're gonna feel around the fuel bowl, and I mean, you'll be able to see if there's a leak. Usually you'll have like a high pressure stream of fuel shooting out. But now we're just gonna double check our oil level. Wipe that off, it's a little dirty. Double check our oil level, and I wouldn't recommend changing the fuel filter if you're really low on fuel, like if the light's on, obviously, because you're draining more fuel out of it. It might not start. But to check your oil, I'm gonna try to prop my phone up here. Let's see if that works. You just pull it out, wipe it off really quick, put it back in there all the way down, pull it back out, and you can see, there you go, you see little crosses. Right here is full, empty, like where you need to add some, it's below this level. Anywhere in here is good, so I'm right at the top. I got 15 quarts in there, so we're good to go. If it starts leaking some out, yeah, as long as it's in between those little crosses, then you'll be fine. But once it gets below there, you should probably add some oil. So this will conclude how to change your oil, change your fuel filter, and then I kind of showed you guys how to change this. Not really though. You just loosen this up. This slides off. There's a tab here and one right on the other side, and the lid comes off. You can change that. So pretty soon here, I'll make a glow plug video because this truck definitely needs them. I'll be doing the harnesses on both sides and the actual plugs themselves. And then I have some upgrades coming. There's a lot of stuff I want to do. Some interior parts coming and some more exterior. I want to get, obviously, fix the rust eventually, but that probably won't be for a while. I need a new bed, new doors, everything. So for now, I'll probably work on a little stuff like getting the motor running good, which I mean, when people say 7.3s are million-mile motors, they really are. I bought this truck for $2,000 out of a field from an old farmer. I've had no major mechanical issues with the motor. I mean, glow plugs, but that happens to every 7.3. The only real issue I've ever had was maybe I blew a power steering line once, and I had the fuel leak, which is just 2 little O-rings. Other than that, everything runs great. I mean, I did some upgraded parts, like I did a turbo wheel and up pipes, but that's not because they went bad, it's just because I wanted them.
Other than that, I mean, this thing's only had wheel bearings and brakes and like some rust. You guys seen the top plates and stuff. But I mean, the motor's just fine. This is a perfect running truck. So if you're looking to get into diesels, or if you're looking for a good hard working truck that won't let you down, 7.3 Power Stroke's where it's at. Not the fastest, not the most powerful, but I mean, if you get a hydro chip tuner on there, it should be fast enough to party with, you know what I'm saying? Roll some coal and spin the tires every now and then, but it's a good old truck and it won't let you down.